Hi everyone, it's Juliet here, and it is 5 on a Wednesday, and normally at 5 we go live, and it's very strange. This week I have not heard from Marion all week, and I'm not sure what she's up to and whether she's joining. We seem to have 2 people. If you are seeing this video, could you just put in the chat that you're here so I know that there's someone here? That would be wonderful. And I have put out invites. If anybody would like to come on the call and you've got things to share, I can send you an invite link so that you can hop on and share share what's happening to you, what's going on for you this week. So it's interesting experience suddenly finding myself alone for doing this call, because it's very much about Marion and I talking about what's happening and yeah, just sharing our experiences. And suddenly here I am alone. So I hope that what I share is of help for you. So let's start with a little bit of news. This week I started the Outsiders support network with Jill Barham. And the idea with this is that as Jill and I were talking about our personal experiences, like we're both going through a huge amount of distress around the disconnections that appear to be happening in our families over the polarization over a lot of the family wanted to have the jab and some of the family didn't want to have the jab, and just this feeling of separation and pain. Like people getting polarized, like their point of view was correct and the other person wasn't correct, and being anxious about the well-being of the other person. And Jill and I talked about that, and then we also noticed that in our networks and in groups of people we're working with, that there are a lot of people in the same situation, that were either feeling a lot of pain because their children had the jab, or their parents had the jab, or that their children were expecting them or pressurizing them. There's some really hardcore things sometimes, saying things like, oh, well, if you don't have it, then you won't see your grandchildren again. I mean, that's heavy, heavy, heavy emotional pressure. And I think people only do those kind of things when they really have a belief that what they're standing up for in a way is right. And when you have 2 people on the opposite ends of the spectrum within a very kind of close family unit, it can lead to a lot of pain and conflict. So we decided that we were going to open a forum called the Outsiders Social Network to support people so that they could share what was happening for them and share their feelings around that, share the pain around that. Because one of the things that's coming out of this is that it happened to my friend the other day that her son responded back to her saying, I think you're completely insane. What are you doing? You know, how can you not believe that this is going to be absolutely beneficial for your health? If you're watching, can you just put something in the chat so I can see that you're here and we can say hi, and I can invite you to join if you would like. So how many of you have actually experienced that a member of your family has told you that you're insane because you haven't wanted to have it, or that you wanted to warn them about the dangers of it, because there are a lot of dangers. There's a huge amount of people that have now died as a result of it. Something like 14,000 people in the UK. All the figures for it are on the UK Gov website. It's called the Yellow Card Reporting System. That's the figures are put up by the MHRA, and then in Europe there's the Vigilance figures, and that's a substantial amount of people that are that have either died. Hi, Ina. Hi. So we have Ina, and nice that you're here, Ina. And I don't have Marion to read the quotes, read what's been shared. Thank you my family are mostly on the same page so far anyway. Thank you so much, Ina, for sharing that with me. That's a real blessing when your family are on the same page. But if they're not on the same page, then it's really, really painful, especially when you hear all the injuries. I mean, really, really serious injuries, such as paralyzation, Bell's palsy, total body paralyzation, blood clots, blindness. Across the spectrum, a wide amount of very, very serious injuries are happening. So when you know that somebody that you really love as a mother, you put so much care and protection into the whole thing of bringing up your family, to bring up your children, and they're very cherished, and it's the most precious thing that you have in your life, and you want to protect them, even when they're adults. And so Ina sharing, yeah, so worried about my son-in-law who's a care worker. Absolutely. So now they have mandated for the care workers to be injected, and somebody that I'm very close to today was actually lost. Her job was suspended. She was put on suspension because she refused to have the test, because the test has the same stuff in it, not exactly the same stuff, but they have some of the nanoparticles in it that then are making people magnetic and targeting the brain for all sorts of things, mind control programs, etc. So listening to the, what are you saying? Listening to the background. Yes. Selena, that's wonderful. Do you want to share anything, Selena, or do you want to jump on and share anything about what you're going through at the moment? Because that was really difficult for you. If you want to jump on, I can send you a link. If you want to talk for a minute, it's probably absolutely nerve-wracking for you to do that, I know, and maybe you'd rather not be seen at this moment in time. But I know a lot of people are now really being losing their job, losing their livelihood, losing the connections with their family, and it's very, very difficult because the whole of society seems to be. I'm sending you the link, Selena, just in case you want to jump on. So I'm having to do all these things without Marion. I don't know what's happened to Marion today. She's so busy that maybe she just forgot. So I've sent you the link if you want to hop on for a minute, Selena. So let's see. And if you're on Facebook, you can watch the YouTube video live as well. So hopefully it's actually working on YouTube. Otherwise, you wouldn't be seeing me, would you? Oh, if you're on Facebook, yeah, it's working. Okay. So you can watch the YouTube. Okay, multitasking here. So yeah, so for a long while now they have culled the population so that they start with a clean page. Ina sharing. So they start with a clean page. That way people do not wake up to the controllers in the background pulling the strings. Yes. And Selena has said, I will do in due course. It's all fresh and I don't wish for anything said at the moment to come into, yes, absolutely. So we won't talk any more about that, Selena, because it's really difficult. And it's quite interesting the amount of fireworks going off in people's families in all sorts of ways, either around this, whether they're going to have the jab or not have the jab, or whether they're going to be forced to through their work situation, whether they're then suspended from work because they're refusing it. Many things. And we had this idea of putting together the Outsiders social network, which we had a meeting, a private Zoom meeting on Monday, which was really amazing. We had quite a few people, and that's the first Zoom meeting we've had. And we have a Facebook group where you can join if you do want to join the private Zoom sharings. And the link for that Facebook group is underneath this video. So it was really powerful because there are a lot of people on that call who came onto the live, private, confidentially held, kind, supportive Zoom call, that they hadn't really talked about it to anyone before, and it was like a real, a powerful experience for them to have a place to share the difficulty. Some of the things that I've heard from people is that they feel like they're going mad, that they don't have anyone in their social group that's been thinking along these lines, that people connected with them have completely been going along with the mainstream. And when they start beginning to feel, oh, there's something wrong with this, I'm not sure if I want to go along with it, then they begin to doubt their own sanity. So that's a big factor in people's feelings. So the point of coming together and sharing is like, oh, I'm not insane. It's like I'm being pushed along with a false agenda to believe something that is actually insane, and it's not me. Hi, Zoe. Hi, Zoe. Hi. Welcome to the course. So glad you turned out. I'm a bit nervous today because I don't know what happened to Marion. And even though I do a lot of live stream videos, it's like when you're prepared mentally to be doing something with someone else and to have a conversation, it's like, oh dear, it's not quite the same thing. So, so lots of interaction from you who would support and to share with me how you're feeling today would be wonderful. My sense of the day, it's a beautiful day, and I went down to the gardens with the garden group first thing because I really want to build this community feeling and the resilience that we're gardening together and growing food together. So although there was that, there was also kind of quite a lot of heaviness because it seems like there's a lot of things going on that are really affecting people at the moment. So one person who works for me, suddenly he was about to turn up to do some work for me and then messaged me and said, oh, he couldn't come because his partner had been tested positive and they had to quarantine for so many days. And it's like, what? It's like, I'm really relying on him and now he's not going to come. So that was really, really hard. And so I messaged him and said, well, why don't you come anyway? Because you're not even going to see anyone here. You're here working on your own in the gardens doing some work for me. So just come and do the work. So he did. But I'm wondering how many people are losing incomes. Now that's a whole 10 days income that he loses because he's going to quarantine for 10 days. And there's no indications. It's just like this test, which is being heavily disputed because the test is throwing up all these false positives, and all it's testing for is little fragments of something they don't even know what it is, and it's not at all clear that somebody is ill. And the whole point of it, I said to him, well, do you feel ill? Do you feel ill? Like, we know when we're ill, so why would we go along with it? Somebody else is telling us we're ill when we have no feeling of illness. Do you know when you're ill? I know when I'm ill. I start to feel rough. I have like, I feel flat. I might feel tired. I might have a temperature. I might feel stiff and achy, or be sneezing or coughing or any of those things, or my stomach upset. I know when I'm ill or when I'm well. And I'm sure you do as well. I'm sure we all do. So it's just crazy that thousands and thousands of people are just being stopped from doing anything. And the whole of society is affected by that after we've already gone through like all these months and months of our businesses being closed down and no income coming in. So how can we function as a community when that's happening? And it's like we're going through a real shift in consciousness, a real, it's like it's calling, the situations are calling out for us to step into our power and to begin to make decisions for ourselves, to know for ourselves what's right and wrong and not be told by this kind of external authority that, oh, you're ill, you have to isolate yourself. I mean, to me, that's completely and utterly insane. So, yeah, it distresses me when I see these things. It distresses me, and it distresses me when people are forced, try to be, there's this power over situation where people are forced to go along with some kind of agenda. Hello, it's Marion. Yay. Oh, where have you gone? She's having difficulty. Okay. Selena's just said something. I really hope, hi Selena, I really hope people won't take the thing just because they feel they have no choice. Well, a lot of people are taking this thing and they feel like they don't have a choice. It's like people are being pressurized one way or another, either like they're going to lose connections, they're going to lose the ability to travel, they're going to lose their livelihood in some way. So it's like manipulation, and that's just completely evil to manipulate people in that way. This is meant to be the free choice planet. So, maybe we've been giving our power away for way too long, and that's why we're now, we're just being controlled in this way because we haven't stood up for ourselves for so long. Marion, where are you? You flashed on, Selena. Yeah. I really hope people won't take the thing because they feel that, oh yes, that's what I put up as well. So, yeah. So I have a friend in France who's been, she's doing amazingly well. She's been talking to loads of people and translating loads of our English leaflets and information and translating it into French and going out and speaking to people in France. But they've had a really tough time in France because they've had the curfew for a very long time, not being able to go out of their house after like 6 in the evening. Why is Marion not coming on? So I'm just messaging her again. So, yeah, she lives on her own in France. So that was hard for all those months. Marion, I don't know if you're trying to get on, and I'm just sending you the link again. I don't think that's any help at all because you already have it. But can you message me, Marion, and tell me, oh, there you are. Haha. Hang on. You are there.
Okay. I am here.
Yeah. I'm trying to run the show on my own. It's not easy, It's like it puts me on the spot with all my kind of inhibitions and terror, and it's like I just explaining it's completely different if I've decided to do a little Facebook Live in the gardens or something like that. But it's like, yeah, I'm really sensitive around relationships and connections, and it's like you're my partner in crime. So it's like, where are you?
I was doing crime.
What were you
doing the time for me crime?
What were you doing?
I was travelling across central London. You just don't know how long it will take. I was going to get the tube, then the Victoria line wasn't working, so I got a bus and then a tube, and anyway, I made it.
You made it.
I was thinking I'll go into the station again at King's Cross, but my battery had run out on my phone, so I couldn't even do that. I just had to wait. I couldn't contact you. I just had to wait till I got home.
Yeah.
So I'm here now.
Well, it's been cliffhanger.
Oh no, what's happened? What have I missed?
Well, you haven't missed anything too exciting. But some people have turned up on the call, which was wonderful. I've been talking about the Outsiders Club and how that went.
Going? Because I missed the first call. How did it go?
Yeah, we had 22 people turn up.
Wow.
So people from America, people from where else? America, a couple of other foreign countries, and England. So that was good. And everybody said it went really, really well. It was really helpful for them. So that's good. And everybody had a chance to speak. Everyone shared how they were feeling, and it was so interesting. It was interesting, people's different experiences, the backgrounds. We had 3 nurses that adopted out of the medical profession as a result of being really distressed by forced jabbing that was happening. And
here we've got a couple of nursey whistleblowers joining our abundance community as well, which is rather
Yeah.
special.
Yeah, there's a lot of nurses now coming out, speaking out,
Yeah.
which is good. But
So
it's
great
hard.
to be able to support them, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good to be able to support them. And now they've mandated for health workers to be jabbed. I think we're going to have a lot more coming out. And yeah,
Mm.
so
There's
yeah,
a
I
lot
think
of disruption on the tube today with mask wearing.
really.
People are not, now they don't know what to do. It's very interesting. Because I've never worn one, but I've always felt people can like consciously blank me because they won't confront me. Because I'm big and scary. Who knew? But I am. So because I'm big and scary, nobody wants to confront me. So they just blank. There's this absolute, like, pretend she doesn't exist. Or you'll get occasional cold, hard stare. But at the moment, I'm making people twitch.
How are you doing that?
They don't know what to do. They look at me. And then you can see they're looking to say, oh, she got any visible disabilities or whatever it would be. I don't know, what would it be? Your lung hanging out your back? I don't know. And then, so they sort of stare you down a little bit. And then it's so interesting because it's like a common theme. So it's like a behavioural pattern that people have got caught in. So they'll notice, then they don't like it. Then when they've had a look at what they don't like, then they feel uncertain. And then they feel guilty for having not liked it in the first place. And you can see the stages. So by the end, they want to smile at you because they're like, oh, I'm really sorry. I thought thought there was something dodgy. And then they get off the train going, have a nice day.
Oh, that's interesting. I haven't had those experiences at all. I don't know if it's been in Glastonbury. It's like there are definitely quite a few people in Glastonbury.
Well, being in an enclosed space with people for 20 minutes to half an hour, there's a lot that goes on, isn't there? Language, sign language, non-verbal communication.
I guess so. So my lifestyle is absolutely completely different, and I don't go on to those tubes and things. I don't.
Yeah, because I'm sat there or on the bus, the same sort of thing happens. Less on the bus, but more on the tube.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I saw on the way home on the daily drivel that they dish out every day, the paper, and it said mask model on tubes and trains, and I've got it here because I've just picked it up.
Oh, right, that's interesting.
Because I got off and I thought, yes, that's definitely what I felt. Basically, the mayor has told the train companies to make up their own mind. He says, wear coverings, but it's up to individual train companies.
There's chaos, isn't there? It's absolutely chaos going on, and nobody
wants to be seen to have the responsibility, because no one person does have, because it's a systemic authoritarian responsibility. It's not one person who's made this. So if you own that responsibility, if you try and step up to the mark too much, you're taking it on, and it's not even a personal request. This is an institutional dictate. So who wants to be seen as responsible for that, None of the people I spotted today.
Yeah. It's interesting how society is completely fragmented, isn't it? There's so much stuff being thrown into the field with so many crazy dictates and mandates and rules and
it's like they're taking us to the place where it's like you have to say no to everything from the authoritarian narrative. You just have to learn how to say no to absolutely everything. Because one little wafer thin mint that they offer you, you find out it's got these tendrils back into all sorts of MK Ultra stuff, and it's like, whoa, what just happened there?
Yeah, the poison. Yeah.
Because everything is infiltrated, isn't it? Everything is infected. Everything is contaminated.
Well, that's it. So even though the top people, I hear from like really sources that have been tracking this for a long time, like Jaco and Gene. Is it Gene Keys? No, not Jean
No,
Keith.
Jean Savon.
Jean what?
Savon.
Okay, those. I mean, they've been tracking this stuff for such a long time, and what they're saying is a lot of the top echelons of this elitist or above elitist establishment have now been taken down.
But there's no evidence or proof of that, is there? This is
there's no evidence, and that's what they were told. Jaco was talking about in this video that I was watching last night. It's like, when are they going to give public disclosures? What's taking so long? Why are they holding back on that?
Yeah, because it does make a lot of the voices on the online voices that have become popular. It makes them look
flaky.
Yeah, desperate old man, I was going to say.
Oh, right.
Desperate to be right. Desperate to take up his patriarchal position or something.
Which one? I've lost track of it.
There's quite a few of them.
The what?
Talk about... So, there's a lot of talk about the quantum financial system, NESARA, GESARA, all these other gene decode it is you were talking about.
Oh, right. Okay, so...
Juan Savon is the other one.
I don't trust Jaco or Gene Decode.
Yeah, so Ina's saying, so I don't either, because they keep telling me about their secret source, their secret source, their secret source. Fuck your secret source. Give me evidence. Stop it with your stupid source. Do you know?
Yes, really hard.
That's what I want to say. So, and a lot of what is being asked of me is to trust the plan, trust the man, trust the men, trust the what? Like, no, I'm tired of trusting. I'm sorry.
Well, I guess that's the big thing.
Feel.
It's like, what do we trust in? There's nothing to trust in anymore.
I trust in what you feel. Trust your feelings. That's
Which
all you
I started with earlier on. It's like the person that comes and gardens for me, helps in the gardens that I pay, just messaged me saying, sorry, I can't turn up because my partner's just had a positive test and we have to isolate for 10 days. And I said, I'm going, that's crazy. It's like, you are now not able to come down and work on your own in the gardens where you're not going to come in to, see anyone.
Yeah.
Because your partner's had and it's like, surely if you're ill. I know if I'm ill.
Yeah.
It's like, why are we trusting these kind of tests? And Ina says we are our own saviors.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Me and Ina are on the same track. Where is Trump now? He brought in the jab and has kept quiet for months. I don't know if he's been quiet this week. He's done a couple of those big rallies, hasn't he, this week? And he said a couple of very interesting things. I'm not sure with Trump. The interesting thing with Trump is I know that I can't just trust him. So like these old guys are telling us, just trust the plan, just trust the plan. No. And Trump never actually said to trust him. What Trump gets you to trust in is yourself, is your own power. And I like that.
Yeah, I think that's really where this is leading to. Until the time we step up and trust our own power, none of this is going to be resolved, because we're just going to be manipulated up until that point.
They'll keep giving us carrots and wafer thin mints and carrots and wafer thin mints till we fucking explode like the bloke in the restaurant. Or we say no, we leave their restaurant.
What bloke in the restaurant? What bloke was that?
Okay, so it's one of the Monty Python films.
Okay.
And it's the one where they have lots of babies. I don't know which one it is. Meaning of Life, probably, or something like that. And there's this guy, this really overweight guy, who's like a baritone singer or something. And he's sitting in a restaurant and he eats everything. I mean, it is grotesque what he gorges on this food. And then at the end, they're going, just one wafer thin mint. No, I couldn't possibly eat anymore. And he's got like things hanging out of his mouth. And
oh my God, that's really gross.
It is. I can't eat anymore. And then they say, just one little wafer thin mint. They say it for about 5 minutes. And in the end, he goes, oh, okay then. And as he stuffed it in, he explodes.
Oh my God.
Brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It's just completely and utterly disgusting. I wouldn't recommend that you watch it, because I think the visual I've just given you is a bit more lighthearted. But it is so funny. It's that the one, the straw that breaks the camel's back is basically the point they're making.
Well, that's the sense I have today. It's like, I don't know if that's my own personal process, but it's like, do I have any more capacity to take any more kind of crazy shit that's going on? Not that, well, I am touched, actually. I'm touched quite a lot by what's going on, but people around me are really being affected. And I just seem to have, like, my days go by where I have one person after another that I'm sitting with, or talking to, that are
Yeah,
in
that was me last week, actually. That was how I felt last week. There was like a constant queue, but these were calls on WhatsApp and Zoom. But there was, I was just like on the next call, on the next call, on the next call, just hearing people's pain and people's despair. And I keep naming it, and I'm being a bit mean. Just victim everywhere, victim everywhere, victim, 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 victim everywhere. It's like stating you have no power is so dangerous, because as soon as you put yourself in the box of the victim, you've given your power away. And as much as everything's happening and we can't do anything about it, that doesn't make us powerless.
No, if we would only get this and we'd only step into our power, this whole thing would just collapse like a pack of cards. It would finish. But it's because we keep giving our power away, and it's like we're so hooked into the system, like, oh, if I lose my job, what am I going to do? Or
and the victim thing as well, isn't it? It's all about when you let yourself indulge, it brings up all your survival fears.
Yeah, but the thing is, we have, I mean, I come back to this again, we have this incredible capacity that we could get together and totally restructure, remake everything where we're not dependent upon that system that is so poisonous, that's so toxic, that is just like jabbing poisons into us, poisoning the air, poisoning the water, feeding us poisonous foods. I had somebody join the gardens recently, and they said to me, I feel like there's a curtain lifted from my eyes. Up until this point in time, I was doing nothing but eating McDonald's, and like my health was in a terrible state. And like suddenly I see there's all this beautiful, fresh food.
Wow.
Like, for fuck's sake, just wake up. I have these gardens here that are absolutely brimming. And I'm begging people, please come to the gardens. And
there's a queue at McDonald's.
And exactly, serve yourself with fresh food. There's so much fresh food down there. And nobody needs to be ill and overweight and suffering from health, like hypertension, diabetes, all these illnesses. You don't need to be suffering from it. That is not just like an act of God that you happen to have this.
This is the victim thing again, isn't it?
It's your choice. I am 69 years old. I've had fantastic health all my life. I resist eating anything that's come out of a packet or from a supermarket. I do have a few things occasionally, but I eat naturally what I can grow, what I can gather, what my friends share with me from their gardens. It's like it's all here for you. And I know maybe some of you live in a city and that's hard, but you can relocate. That's the other thing. There's plenty of land around.
Yeah, city prices for property are very high. You get a lot of land for your property in the city, don't you?
Yeah. So for people around here in Glastonbury, come to the gardens. It's like we could be supporting 40 families on these gardens, that people could just like totally change their lifestyle and harvest, work together, work as a community, work as a tribe, celebrate the movement of the seasons, process food together. I mean, it was beautiful today that we had 4 of us were harvesting a huge bed of broad beans. We just had stacks and stacks of broad beans. And it's like, just take them home and freeze them. You've got food for the winter.
Yeah. Yum. Broad beans. Delish.
But there's so much stuff. If people work together, it's just as if people have completely lost the connection with their roots. That there's
we've been raised in a way that means our needing to be looked after, having the authoritarian narrative to tell us what to do. We've been raised like that is the only possibility. So I think the fact that we don't live that way is a real testament to us. And I think we forget, or maybe don't realize, that because of that the behaviors that were raised within us, and because of the way that we get so easily socially programmed, you've as a kid, you've just got to do as you're told, to the better extent anyway. So you just survive. And then it's like doing as you're told from adults who are doing as they're told. It's just,
So was I just lucky as a child? Was I just lucky that I escaped that? I mean, plenty of people were trying to force me to do things, but I just legged it, basically.
Yeah. I was quite lucky because my parents were quite lax when it came to what happened outside of the house with me. They didn't really pay us much attention outside. When you were in the house, you had to be like beyond good, or you got beaten. So I got beaten a lot. But it was quite interesting because it was only when I was in the house and in the way and there was alcohol around that it was violent. But because the violence was there, when I left the house, there was nowhere dangerous. There was nowhere that was a threat to me. Inside my own house was a threat to me, but outside.
So do you think we should just have more violence in families and we'd be okay?
Yeah, that would work. No, only if you're like me. Because some of my, I've got brothers and things that struggle with just this deep fear of being hit. Whereas when I fear being hit, it actually creates a confidence shield in me. So I've created this adaptation, which has meant I'm not scared of the world. Because I just go, got my shield. I can survive my home. I can survive anything. Thank you very much. Bring it on. So that's kind of how I've lived all my life. Not being scared of everything, because you might get hit at home, but being scared of nothing because home was so scary. By comparison, nowhere else was quite that scary. Yeah. So I mean, and very negative connotations if I choose to see it as the victim, but brilliant adaptations I've got to not be sucked in by this world, to not be frightened into the narrative itself. So we've all got our own stories, haven't we, and our own reasons for being how we are.
We've all got our own stories, and we can so easily be a victim or disempowered. And at the same time, there is so much resource, there's so much available for each one of us. We have more information available than ever in the whole history of humanity. And there's tons of choices, absolutely tons of choices of what you can be doing at this point in time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So although it feels like choices are closed down, I mean, maybe that's a blessing for anyone that's been told, oh, right, we're going to suspend you from your job. Maybe that's a blessing because you can get the fuck out of there and start creating for yourself.
Yeah.
And
look into taking legal action for being unfairly disqualified, or whatever the word is.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you can even win some money back. You just got to turn the tables on them.
Exactly. It's all a game. The whole of life is just a game, isn't it? The Leela, the game of life. And it's while we're taking it seriously is when we have problems. I think if we stop taking life so bloody seriously, not much changes, but it's a hell of a lot nicer place to be. Yeah, people take everything so seriously.
Yeah. So what I was about to say, actually, just before you came on, that friends in France, it's been very heavy with the curfew and things. And I think I've heard that they've now just rolled out this thing that if you don't get injected, you can't shop. You can't go to the shops.
In France?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So it's another reason for people to get their act together and start growing food, because whatever happens, and I've seen that on a couple of countries now, that this is not just a random thing that this country makes this rule and this country makes this other rule. It's all dictated from the top. Mm-hmm. This is what they're going to be doing next. They're going to be really pressurizing us that we either shape up and do it, or else there's going to be big penalties. And likewise in the USA, the thing that just rolled out, if you don't get injected, we're coming after you. So the whole thing with Mr. B, just putting that message out. I was talking to somebody.
What are they going to do? They're going to knock people's door.
Yeah, they knock on people's doors and say, "You've got to have it."
Wow.
So, you know, if you don't shape up, if you don't just stand your ground now, you're lost. You've got to stand your ground.
I saw a really interesting little video yesterday where this really young policeman was arguing with a woman, a lawyer. And she said, I'm legally trained, I'm a lawyer, and I'm telling you now that you don't know the law. And he was saying whatever he was saying was legal. And she said, it absolutely isn't. And I'm uncertain as to why you are unable to hear that I am a serious senior professional in the legal world, and you are a mere whatever constable, blah blah blah, and you imagine that you know more about the law than I do. And he was not listening. He was shouting at her and just saying, "Will you stop talking? Will you stop talking and listen to me? Will you stop?" And she was just like so eloquent. He didn't take in a word. And he felt every right not to, because he's a policeman.
Yeah, maybe he's also just really massively, in this fear thing. So he's just like rolling out what the orders are. So as Lena, I think, has said, when we decide to surrender and live in faith, the universe bends for the courageous ones. Live the life you want to live now.
Absolutely. Just got to get on with it. But this is how to not be the victim as well, isn't it? You just focus on what you do want and take steps towards that. And if a step towards that puts you back as a victim, take a different fucking step. You don't choose to stay in victimhood, even if it shows up. Because it is about acting now, knowing what it is that you're actually acting on and why you're doing it, what you're moving towards, why you do it, and just really understanding mindfully every step of your own journey, isn't it?
Absolutely. Oh, I like this. The love down.
What's that?
You know about love down. What's a love down? Explain more. It sounds wonderful.
The type of flower.
You at love down. A type of flower? No, it's like instead of a lockdown, it's a love down.
Oh, I see.
Well, I could do with a little bit of love down around here. If there's any volunteers, do come on.
I can find you volunteers. You just won't want to reciprocate. What can I say?
Oh, no, that's always the problem. It's like, I'm very picky. Very, very.
So what's this love down then, Deb? It's
a
freedom protest.
Hang on. It's a freedom protest.
Is it the one that's outside the High Courts?
That's just moved on in London.
It was outside the High Courts for a little while, was it? And Clapham Common. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. Hang on. So let's see. It's
Abigail showed up late.
Late to the discussion. Abigail, hi, sweetie. You can go back and listen. We have discussed quite a few things, and we've ranted a little bit. We've tried to inspire people a little bit. It's like, but the basic theme is like, you don't have to be a victim. It's like, step up and start taking action now. If you don't like what's going on, take some action. It won't be long. Hang on.
It was Shepherd's Bush, Clapham, and now Hackney. Oh, it's in Hackney. Oh, good.
All right.
Yeah, I did actually see something very briefly about them winning something at court. The court said they were putting the date off till the end of July, and there was some woman weeping in the street. It was a big part of it.
What, today?
No, this was last week.
Well, there was the woman that was videoing, doing the live videos of the empty hospitals. She was taken to court, and then that they couldn't come to a decision. So that was, and she had a huge amount of protesters.
Good.
And so they're going to make another court case about it later.
Yeah.
They're going to try and screw down as hard as they can, because they're losing their grip. And we have to keep pushing back with more and more resistance. We have to just keep doing that.
Also, there's another way of thinking about it, is that they're really trying hard to get humanity to stand up for itself.
Yeah, there's that as well.
They'll try anything to get humanity to stand up for itself.
Absolutely. That's the aim, whichever way you look at it. That's the aim. We have got to stand up for ourselves.
Yeah.
And I am hearing now, both from America and from England, that there are a lot of people now that have got together that are very militant, and they are going to be taken to the streets. So that people are really getting together, huge groups of people. And the sheriffs.
We need to take action that is supportive for what we want, though, because to take action that's destructive against what we don't want serves so little purpose and gives them so many reasons and excuses to come back harder.
Absolutely, this is a critical point. This is because we've done this kind of destructive action and these, civil wars or coups or whatever so many times. Is that we have to do constructive action and create the life that we want.
Creating what you want. It's so important, isn't it?
Hence why I'm doing the gardens here. It's like, I mean, that's an amazing action that you can take and say, fuck the system. I don't need.
I'm going to grow my own carrots.
I can grow my own carrots. I can grow my own pumpkins. I can work together in a beautiful community and create the life I want.
Pumpkins are easy to grow and they're gorgeous looking, aren't they?
Absolutely, you know all about pumpkins. I've still got one left from last year out of the 100. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's waiting for you to come down and I'll share it. So.
Don't. I love them. I love them.
Yeah.
So what we've got, Abigail is saying it won't be long before people will be protesting. Yeah, I hope this is protesting on creating what we do want.
Yeah, and
the only way to get it.
To Q, what's this? We went to Q
Zero where I live.
Oh,
we were still with the muzzles on.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. The mask thing is weird, but it is definitely weird that it's weird at the moment, shaky weird, because people are just starting to recognize that this is nonsense and they've been doing something for 18 months that's nonsense. So that is making people, if I'm not dropping down dead, what's wrong? I have never worn a mask. So why are you wearing your mask? I've never worn one and I've never dropped down dead. I've never even got ill. Why are you wearing a mask? So if this has been going on for 18 months and people are just starting to realize she's still all right. And everybody knows someone militant, I'm sure. She's still all right. He's still all right. They've never worn a mask. It's evidence on your doorstep that all the shenanigans is bollocks. So yeah, I do think the shakiness of people's belief in the old story is ramping up, definitely. Yes.
So what is it? What is it that you would like to create in your life, your lives? The people that are watching this video, what are your dreams? What are your hopes and dreams? What would you like to create? What have you never given yourself the space to do? Where have you never believed in yourself? Where could you step up and make a difference? Where could you step into your power?
Yes. So I'll tell you what I've been busy with.
Tell me.
I'm making what I do want.
What's that?
I've built a web page and I've done an event and I've started a little email sequence, and it's all about my ethereal equinox experience in Mexico.
Oh, wow.
Yay!
Yeah, you just decided I'm going to Mexico. And
I'm going to Mexico. I decided I'm going to put on an equinox event. It's 4 days long. It's in this lovely little apartment block by the beach. It's half an hour from the airport. It's quite close to some jungly stuff. It's 4 days, 3 nights, and it's just it's just glorious. It's Caribbean blue sea. It's coral reef water. It's everything, and a really amazing musician teacher, Santos Bonacci, who I've connected with. I've hooked up with him, that's what I want to say. And I've been his fan for 10 years on Facebook, so it's a bit of a wet dream for me. Although he's very little, he's not my type at all. But oh my God, he's such an amazing teacher and his wisdom is so brilliant. I love him. He's one of those, he's an autistic stuck down a rabbit hole kind of teacher, a bit like I can get on occasion. So I really like that. And he's going to do 3 of the days with me in the afternoon. And he's just got an amazing wisdom that he shares that brings it's called syncretism. He brings all theologies, philosophies, and basically rips the arse out of anything to do with religion or law, and just talks about how illegal it is and how unlawful it all is. So see Santos on the Age of Truth. Oh, lovely.
Right. You know, I haven't seen that. No.
So I know I'll ask him about that, but he is just a little star. So yeah, I decided when I found out he was in town, I'm like, right, I'm doing a retreat. It's going to be on the beach. Santos is going to be there, and I get to play for 4 days near the beach with some cool people. So we've got music happening in the evenings. I made sure we've got enough stuff for a fire on the beach every night. And all sorts of shamanic things going on with instruments and instrument makers coming, and we've got sound bath. We've possibly got a heat temazcal as well. You know, the sweat lodge. That's a possibility.
Yeah, that's really that's amazing.
And yoga every day and playing Find Your Why. So that's what I've been busy doing this week. I know. Or this weekend.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's really brilliant. So, you know, there are so many opportunities for doing things, and
yeah,
we need to create our own businesses, like our own, you know, put our passion out there and like build our income and our well-being.
But this is what we've been doing this year, Juliet, because we've now got this wealth creation project that if anyone's interested, they can come and ask. But because we've got this wealth creation project, suddenly I don't really have to think about finances. It's put a freedom into where I used to have financial restraints and constraints. And so it's almost, the finances are inconsequential. I mean, I'm charging people for coming to stay and for the teachings and everything. But there's no stress about will people pay, what will people... I just put a price on it. It's got lots of 8s in it because I love the number 8. Use that. That feels fair. Looked around at what other things go and how much they are. Seems really fair. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So get yourself to...
Marion, your event.
Yeah, it will be. It will be. Get yourself to Mexico in September. And if you need to know anything about wealth creation, contact Juliet or myself. Because we know the secret to abundance.
The secret to abundance. Well, we do have something particularly that we're focusing on. I have never had a problem with lack. I started out from a really, really poor family just post-war. And I grew up in total poverty and really up through my 40s and so on, still had a lot of poverty. But since I've just stepped into my power, my own business, I'm not reliant on anyone employing me. I just do my own thing. There's always some way of creating flow. Always. And one of the main ways of creating flow is to gift people.
Yeah.
To be generous, to give what you have and share it with others. And I think that's really my main secret. It's like, I only have this land I have here and healing waters and what I have through my own personal vision and work and gifting people. And that just allows that flow to happen constantly.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a law of the universe that there is an abundance.
Reciprocity, it's called, is it?
It's what?
The law of reciprocity.
Yeah, there's an abundance. There's plenty of everything for everyone. And it's like you just need to kind of put that, that power over stuff and being a wage slave and stuff, just push it away.
Yeah.
You don't need to engage in that crap.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't believe we've got another Santos fan. That's 4 of you watching this are all Santos Bonacci fans. I'm like, oh my God. Most people go, who's that then? I'm really pleased.
Selena, yeah.
Selena and Abigail seems to know him, and Zoe. Oh no, maybe not Zoe actually. And Ina. All talking about Santos, and I can't wait to tell him. He's got his own little harem.
A real fan club.
Where is harem? He loved that. He's been flirting with my friend Gabby a little bit. But,
Yeah.
I won't air his dirty laundry, and I'll wait till I've seen it myself.
Well, I guess everybody's got some dirty laundry. I don't know.
We all have.
I don't know.
I'd be very suspicious of anyone who didn't.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to go on Marion's thing, then just
Oh
go.
yeah,
It's like all the training I've done in my life, or my sacral training, my trauma training, everything that I've ever done. It's like the action has got to be the first thing, the decision to do it. It's
yeah.
not whether I have the money to do it. It's just like,
No.
that's what I want to do, and
Yeah,
I am going for this thing.
absolutely.
And then the money, or the
engage the body, isn't it?
yeah, the means to do it flows into that once you've made
Yeah.
the decision to do it.
Yeah.
It's like you can't put the cart before the horse. You have to empower the horse. You have to empower your passion about what you want and start going forward with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's no reason why any one of you can't do it. So what's this say? I watched him for a long time, but a lot to take in when he talks about astro teachings.
Yeah, he talks about astrology. He's what does he call himself? An astrotheologist. That's what he calls himself.
Yeah, so what is it, people watching here, what is it that you're wanting to do and you feel like for some reason you can't do it, that you don't have enough money, you don't have the time, you don't have the freedom, you're afraid to do it on your own? What are those things? And then, like, put them aside and just say, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, if you don't do what you want to do, what's the worst that can happen? You live your whole life and you don't actually experience the amazing things that you could be experiencing.
Yeah.
But if you take a risk, I mean, life is full of risks, or everything is a risk. If you take a risk and step into that, then everything starts to unfold from that moment. It's like new opportunities, new stimulating things happen. And your life begins to change. I don't know if anyone here has already started to experience that. Their life changing as a result of like, okay, well, I'll take a risk. I'll take a chance with doing something different. It's because this is a great opportunity right now with the falling apart of all these structures. It's a wonderful opportunity to do something different.
Yeah.
And to have a different life.
Absolutely.
Even if you do have children or whatever, or
it's the fear of losing what we've had. It's this attachment to what we've had. That's the biggest problem, isn't it? People are going, oh, I can't let go because I might lose everything that I've not had for the last 2 years anyway, like our freedoms and everything. We've not had it for 2 years and people are still desperately trying to get normal. But this is normal now. Whatever's happening now is normal for now. And hanging on to the past and being attached to normality or being attached to what was, it just takes all of our time and our energy, and it stops anything new from ever happening, which is rubbish.
Yeah, rubbish. We are amazing creative beings that if we want the new normal, then just show up with your passion.
This is it. The new normal is like that. No, thank you. I'm very, very happy looking after myself. That's what the new normal should be.
There's something from Ina here. Can you read that, Marion?
Yeah, so Ina's saying, I just want peace of mind from all, and that's the next one, from all that is going on. That is priceless. So peace of mind, you've attached it to all that is going on. Yours is the peace of mind. All that is going on has got nothing to do with you. They're not the same thing, Ina. So if you can understand how to generate peace of mind, you need to do that regardless of what's going on around you.
Yeah, it's your inner peace.
Yeah.
It's like tuning into yourself. And Ina also said I was at Camelot Castle. Is that Camelot Castle TV, Ina?
Yeah, like you, Juliet. Yeah. Never thought that would happen and took me by complete surprise. She was actually on the TV thing. Brilliant.
Yeah. Well, Ina, you could come on here if you want to.
If you've got a nice message that you would like to share with us, we'd be happy to
We just now, and you can have the last 2 minutes. You could just show up. We've got a few minutes left.
No, we haven't. I've got to go, Juliet. I've got another call at 7. I need to go and eat.
Okay. But next Wednesday we're going to do this call again. Next Wednesday, just like have some courage and jump aboard and share with us what inspires you, what you want to do. Just jump aboard. We'll hold your hand. Marion will be on one side, I'll be on the other. We'll hold your hand and give you the place.
You can talk about whatever you like. She's been on Camelot TV. She's an L pro at this.
Anyone here, just message us. This is a forum. This is the opportunity for how to, just share yourself with other people, so they can.
And I'll put the link to the video, to the webpage about the Santos thing, so you can all dream about it and make it happen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Abigail.
Thank you, Abigail. Beautiful blessings to you too.
Yeah, all of you. Thank you so much for being who you are and showing up. And we just hope to encourage you. The world is waiting for you. Who are you to deny the world your presence and your passion and to see what beautiful beings you are? Why would you do that? Why would you deprive us? We need you. We need you to show up and be yourselves.
We do.
Yeah.
Oh, all right then. Lovely, lovely people. Thank you for spending your time and attention.
Before we go, the 19th of July, this is what I was trying to remember last time.
Monday.
Yeah, outside Parliament, the speaking of the mind. So turn up and speak your minds in the place of the Parliament. Okay? And this is the biggest ever, and it's really requesting everybody's presence here. So, yeah.
I'm actually going to be travelling from Cumbria to Lincolnshire on Sunday.
Okay.
Monday.
So,
yes. So be there or be stupid. No.
Well, you'll be stupid if you're going to come.
I'm being stupid because I'm travelling.
But yeah, we need you. Show up, be yourself, speak out. Don't allow yourself to be put down or disempowered.
Victim. Don't accept the position of the victim.
Don't be a fucking victim. God did not want you to be a victim.
He still doesn't.
And he still doesn't. Okay, everyone. Lots of love.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Bye.